Yo, what it do? Feel Black, Creative Drive. Synchronicity is a real thing. Gotta be. I was, we just spent the last, since Tuesday, we was out camping. You know what I mean? Yeah, unplugged. It was amazing. It was a beautiful thing. We was out there at the lake fishing, swimming, bullshitting, having a good time. Went over to hike Mount Okinichi. You know what I mean? Was out in Hillsboro all day, downtown Hillsboro. Nice little chill environment, you know. And we end up dropping the kids off at an arcade. And we go to the cigar lounge. My boy Dwayne always tell me about it. He goes to it in Winston, but I ain't never been. And it's called Pipe and Pint. And so we in there talking, to the lady running it. She's like, yeah, we got 5 locations. One's in Winston, Greensboro, somewhere else. And I was like, yo, the one in Winston's in the house. She's like, yeah, it's in the house. And Dwayne always tell me about that joint. He's like, yo, when you come through, boom, we gotta go, and it's a dope spot. So we in there. When I went to go use the bathroom, I was thinking to myself, like, man, all I want to do, I gotta do music full time, whatever the capacity, whether it's a songwriter, producer, whatever. Like, but in order to reach the height of it, to create at the highest potential, I gotta do it full time. Sistine Chapel and all these great, architectural feats. They weren't made by somebody doing it part. No, I'm gonna be a part-time architect and make the greatest shit ever. It ain't gonna work, So I'm in there, I'm thinking to myself, like, dog, all the people that's making the greatest shit ever, and they was making the greatest shit ever, they was doing this shit full time. So I come out the bathroom and I'm sitting there. These dudes at the corner talking. And something keeps, I don't know, something, I was like, yo, something kept telling me. It was just like some kind of pull to where I'm like, whatever they talk, I didn't really hear exactly what they was talking about, but it sounded like they was talking about some shit that I should engage in. So then another guy come. He got on this dope ass Dennis Rodman shirt I never seen, and so we was like, "Yo, man, that's a dope shirt." Blah blah blah. He was like, "Yeah, that's a Dennis Rodman." Blah. I got it to go with my Dennis Rodman shoes. So then they sitting there, and one of the cats leaves, and then I hear the other 2 dudes like, "Yeah, something about my MP, my MIDI, da 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 da," with his whatever equipment that he has. So then I'm like, yo, y'all make beats? Y'all do music? They're like, yeah, you do music too. I'm like, yeah, I do music. Ooh, ooh. So I look over, and the dude, he was sitting to the side of me, like maybe 4 chairs down. And as I walked in, I seen him, everybody, saying, what's up? Ooh, ooh. But I didn't really peep. So when he said he do music, I looked at him. And it's a cat that used to be in college with me when I was at Winston-Salem State. And I had double major, and I was doing music production too. So me and this cat had a bunch of classes together in the music production. You know what I mean? We used to be in the studio together at Winston-Salem, which they had a state-of-the-art, high-level, top-quality studio. I recorded a song off Recognized Real, and they respect mine. And when you hear that song compared to the other songs, it just sounds cleaner. And we recorded that. Yeah, he had all the mics in the studio. But we used the Shure SM58. That shit sounds the best out of all the songs, like quality-wise, like just the crispiness. So we bro, so I'm like, yo, Mike, he used to go by Black Magic. And back then, bro, I'm talking about, this is over 15 years ago. 16, 15, long time ago. 15, 16, 17 years. Bro, he was one of the dopest producers I ever heard back then. You know what I mean? Like, dope. So it's like, you know, we had just exchanged info. And the other cat, he was a DJ that does stuff on like Sirius, and you know, he got a couple of different situations going, Sirius XM radio and different situations. So he was like, yo, you got some music, send me some music, I'm always looking for some dope shit. I'm like, yeah, I definitely got some dope shit for you. And it's just like certain things that you know you're moving in accordance with how you're supposed to be moving. I had never been to this place before, you know, and it just kind of happened like that, where plug back in with another cat that, you know, we was locked in back in the day, you know. So it's just like more confirmation of where it's like, yo, I just gotta do it, you know what I mean? Like full time. You know, put it, just make that commitment to where it's like, make the proper steps and make that shit happen. And one thing he says, yo, I remember like it was always dope because you had that flow. It's like that classic flow. You weren't like trying to chase nothing, you know what I mean? You just did you. It's like, yo, so what you working on? What's the album? You know what I mean? It was like, man, you ain't heard shit I made since way back then. I did drop a few albums during that period. I dropped Dead Broke Ain't Living and Recognize Real during that time in school. So everybody heard the music, you know what I mean? So just the fact that the excitement, yo, what you working on now? What's the sound like? That was the key thing he said. Yo, what's the sound like? You're like, yo, what you working on? Yo, what's the sound? What kind of sound you want? And you know what I mean? That's the evolution, because it's like, I like the question because it's like, we're not going to do what we already did. You know what I mean? We might have remnants of it. You know, the origin of the style is the origin of the style. What made me fall in love with the game, the hip hop, that's always going to be, you know, the origin. But, you know, it's evolved. The sound has evolved. So yeah, it's just going up. Cause I already got the second album. After the day the sun didn't shine, that word already being built. You know what I mean? I'm not taking my eyes off of this one. I'm not diverting energy to that. But in my mind, it's being created. I'm just writing it down. The thoughts that's coming. I'm not working on the next album, but that world is already being created. You know what I mean? It's a whole different world for that next album. This world, Day the Sun Didn't Shine, CXO, you know what I mean? 4 or 5 CXO. That's the introduction. That's gonna transition into the next world. It's about to be wild. And I already know now. I already know the sound for the next world. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, it's just me projecting, mapping out the future. Peace.